It is Wednesday, the 1st of October, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to do that so you could get updates on this. This is Humberto, still a hurricane. This is going to combine with a front over the next about 10 hours or so and then race its way right up toward parts of Western Europe. In particular, I'm watching anywhere from Iceland all the way down through the UK for some impacts and elsewhere. I want to cover that in this video. Back behind it, that is Imelda. We'll keep an eye on that. It's been really an up and around pattern this hurricane season in the Atlantic, which means greater threats for Western Europe. We've been seeing that over the last few weeks with Gabrielle and now Humberto, although it is going to lose its tropical characteristics very quickly. You can see it here as this makes its way, kind of merges with the front. It will stay south and east of the Atlantic region of Canada. Here's the Avalon Peninsula. Here's Newfoundland. And then as we work our way out in time, the Azores right in here, and then this will just merge with the front as it gets closer to Ireland. There will be impacts out of this, the remnants of it combining with the front. I expect impacts Friday into the upcoming weekend. So I want to start wide and then I want to zoom down across the UK, Ireland, watching Denmark, back through the Netherlands, Belgium, for example, monitoring that. As we go out in time here, this is our Friday. This is the area we're watching. Humberto, again, combining with that front. Look at all the heavy rain in that, very strong winds, which I'll cover and we'll zoom down in a second. Then this area splits kind of Iceland back towards Scotland. You see the center right in here, but draping down some heavy rain, strong winds. If this shifts a little bit more to the south, that means higher impacts as we work our way over toward Scotland south. And then as we work our way into Saturday, you see the spin sitting over Norway. Very substantial system in the way that even if it doesn't impact you with huge winds, we're going to see a good deal of rain stretching anywhere from Finland south all the way through Germany, watching that even back toward France with the tail end of that. Now, let me show you the winds here, and then we'll zoom right down into here in just a second. Hang with me. I have kilometers an hour and miles per hour on our screen, and you see in here these reds. Those are winds of about 70 miles per hour or 110 kilometers an hour. So watching these winds in here, look at these reds, even some yellows popping up. Those would be some gust over the water of 90 miles per hour. And with that said, that's why I'm watching this track ever so closely, because if it shifts a little bit more to the south, that could bring us some bigger impacts. Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Ireland, with some of those bigger impacts as this moves in, and watching as we swim back toward the North Sea, Northern Atlantic, as we work our way into the weekend for the very substantial winds. Now, let's get a closer look at what we're seeing. Let me stop the clock here as we work our way into our Friday. This is the spin here. The track as of now looks to be just to the north of Scotland. If it shifts to the south, that would mean substantial impacts. That's why I appreciate you sharing this channel. Any little change could bring some much in the way of a stronger wind. So we'll be watching that as we go throughout the day on Friday. You see this yellow shading just kind of squeaking into some of this red shading right in there. Those, again, we're looking at winds 70 to 90 miles per hour. So this core, we really need this to stay off of water. This is by the time we get into Friday evening. But regardless, it looks like it'll clip by Scotland especially, whereas we work our way into Friday night and Saturday morning, we could have some of the winds gusting to 70 plus miles per hour. So giving you the heads up on this, and then this area shifts its way toward Norway. Winds will be strong. Belgium, the Netherlands, Denmark, we'll have some of the gusts, especially along the coast, around 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles per hour. So you get the idea of how substantial of a system this is, because any shift to the south could really change the impacts from Ireland all the way back through Wales and England. As of now, the center would be very close to Scotland with the higher winds. This would cause some power outages and some damage on the track it is now, but a shift to the south would be really bad news. That's what I'll be tracking with you as we head through the end of the week. Now, here's that closer look with the rain. You can see as we work our way into tomorrow, this is our Thursday. This is not Humberto or the remnants of it. This is some additional rain first that starts to move in with another system, but here it is. This is kind of that front getting tied in with with Humberto. So this works its way. You see by Friday morning, heaviest rain still sitting over the Atlantic, but pushes in throughout the day. Ireland, we'll see some of that heavier rain moving in, and then moving across the center of this would be by Friday evening here. Scotland sitting just off toward the west as we work our way forward. There's the rain stretching all the way down as we work our way to Friday night, Saturday morning. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, some additional rain, even clipping by parts of Germany. Strong winds on the backside that will be shooting down out of the north. But again, the core looks to be here, watching Scotland, the islands, watching out for the heavy rain, the very strong winds, giving you the heads up. We need to prepare for this. Scotland, especially to the north, but if this wiggles to the south, those higher impacts will move in. And again, gusts 70 to 90 miles per hour, something not to mess around with. Now, here's the bigger picture, because I've been watching multiple systems, watching over here, of course, but over toward the Balkans, again, that buildup of rain that I talked about yesterday. Thank you for the comments. Let me know how you do in the next couple of days. Romania south through Greece with additional rain. This is as we work our way into our Thursday afternoon. There's the additional rain, or at least the initial rain out ahead of Humberto that works in. And then you see this spin here starting to move in. That is Humberto, really the remnants of that, keeping that in perspective. But again, I showed you how it ties together with the front. Meanwhile, look at that rain that we're still seeing over parts of the Balkans, kind of lifting its way up toward even Ukraine. And then that spin works in near Iceland, Norway, and you see that rain, Sweden heavy at times back through Denmark, watching northern Germany, and eventually some of this could clip by more so Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland as we work our way deeper into the weekend. Now, as far as the rain totals go, this is just over the next few days. This doesn't even include what's going on really with Humberto. This is that initial rain, and then eventually we'll see Humberto working in, but the higher totals, parts of Ireland north through Scotland, will have some spots over 100 millimeters of some rain. Not as much Portugal, Spain. We're mainly on the dry side. Can't rule out a couple showers and still thunderstorms for some of the islands. We'll be watching that. But as we shift our way over toward the east, that's where those rain totals will be higher. Of course, higher elevations, dealing with some snow, but there are those totals. 150 millimeters of rain or more, watching Kosovo, Serbia, especially southeastern sections, Bulgaria, Romania, southern sides, all the way south through Greece. Substantial rain totals. Giving you the heads up, this area, we did need to get some rain, but it's one of those things where it's coming too quickly, right? We need to get some rain, but we're going to monitor the flooding. I'll be watching your comments, so heads up, especially across the Balkans. We lift to the north. Here's some of that rain we're going to be dealing with, and then watching everything that will just be pushing in. We've got some high totals that will be sliding in through the end of the weekend into the weekend as we see these two Atlantic hurricanes out there impacting the weather, at least one of them impacting the weather across Europe. So Humberto combining with that front, again, it will lose its tropical characteristics and then start to work in the impacts Friday and Saturday. Any shift to the south is bad news. Already Scotland, again, watching out for the higher impacts, 70 to 90 mile per hour gusts possible. But if that shifts to the south, that'll bring those stronger winds to the south. So we'll be watching out for at least some rain, but very strong winds, giving you that early warning right here. Thank you for passing that along to your community. And then watching rounds of rain back through the Balkans with some of that flooding. And by the way, hurricane season goes through the end of next month, so 2 more months on that of watching that up and around pattern. So thank you for being part of this weather community. I'm Mr. Weatherman Europe. I hope you have a good rest of your day.